Hello and welcome to Levant TV Headlines. Syria's President Bashar al-Assad has formed a new government 2 months after his re-election, leaving key ministries untouched as a brutal war continues to ravage the country. Israel and Palestinians both boasted a victory in the Gaza war, but analysts say Hamas received only promises while the conflict aggravated divisions in the Israeli leadership. Egypt has opened an investigation into deposed President Mohamed Morsi for allegedly handing over documents relevant to national security to Qatar. The UN Security Council has called for an immediate ceasefire tightened on arms embargo and asked experts to draw up a list of names of Libyans targeted for sanctions. Tens of thousands of supporters of Yemen's rebels have demonstrated in the capital Sana'a, threatening escalations, which their leader vowed would be painful. And now let's take a look at the top headlines from the Middle East papers. Starting in the UAE, the Gulf News leads its front page reporting that the skies over the Gaza Strip were calm as a long-term ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinians took hold after 50 days of deadly violence. The paper also reports that Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Saud Al Faisal, Interior Minister Prince Mohammed bin Nayef Al Saud, and the head of the General Intelligence Directorate Prince Khalid bin Bandar bin Abdul Aziz have arrived in Qatar on a short visit. From Lebanon, the Daily Star reports that the Lebanese army clashed with Syrian rebels after the military shelled the militants' hideouts in the outskirts of the northeastern border region of Arsal. The paper also reports that the Lebanese army is to receive US arms and military equipment as part of the assistance that Washington pledged to help Lebanon combat rampant terrorism from Syria. From Turkey, the Hurriyet Daily News reports that Foreign Minister Ahmet Davutoglu has pledged to work in harmony with President-elect Recep Tayyip Erdogan and promised party unity. The paper also reports that Washington-based Freedom House has criticized the Turkish government over increasing restrictions on the internet, describing Turkey as a battleground state in internet freedom in its latest report. The Egypt Independent reports that the presidency has announced that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will head the Egyptian delegation at the 69th meeting of the General Assembly of the United Nations on the 25th of September, and that he will also participate in the UN Climate Summit on 23rd September. The paper also reports that the discovery during the excavation of the new Suez Canal of the remains of Mohammed Hassan Atwa Abdel Ghani, an Egyptian soldier who was killed in the 1973 war, raised debate between a family, both claiming the remains are of their father. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from the UK papers. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news reporting that Russia said the possibility of lifting sanctions on Iran had emerged thanks to international talks on Tehran's nuclear program and urged all countries involved to show political will to reach a deal. The paper says that the Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif will meet his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov in Moscow to discuss the negotiations with world powers. The Guardian leads its Middle East news reporting that Muslim and Jewish leaders in the UK have called for followers of both faiths to export peace to Gaza and stamp out racism. The paper says the Muslim Council of Britain and the Board of Deputies of British Jews said they've condemned the civilian casualties and hoped for lasting peace, while also stating Muslims and Jews should get to know one another. And the Independent reports that the mother of American journalist Steven Sotloff has released a video pleading with the leader of the Islamic State to spare her son's life. The paper says her emotional appeal comes after an ISIS militant believed to be British threatened to kill Mr. Sotloff after beheading the American photojournalist James Foley. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle reports that Germany's military, the Bundeswehr, said the non-combat unit has started its mission at the General Consulate in the Kurdish capital of Erbil. The paper says Chancellor Angela Merkel has repeatedly ruled out sending combat troops to Iraq, but she said Germany had to act because of Germans that had joined IS fighters. And finally, from China, the Global Times reports that Iraq's outgoing Prime Minister, Nouri al-Maliki, has criticized US Vice President Joe Biden for backing a federal system in the sharply divided Iraq, saying the US plan may bring the country to chaos and bloodshed. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.